has turned on wintertime. And these little jonquils here, they're kind of telling me the same thing. Look at them popping out down there. So, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We're going to have some spring here. And it feels pretty springy today. I'm right happy about that. So let's talk about what we want to do. I think I'd like to have this thing drivable by the end of this week. But before I get into that, we got this boat sitting over here, and I know y'all probably tired of seeing me mess with boats, but just let me explain what I'm up to. I don't need to do a full restoration on this boat anytime soon, but I do want to preserve it from water. And what I mean by that is this boat came from a person who had it in the basement of his house. Actually, the story was that he bought a house and this was in the basement. I think he was even a boat guy. But in doing a little research, they say that these boats, if there's no water in the hull, should weigh somewhere between 200 and 400 pounds. And they say a good way to test it is to see if you can pick up one end of it. So I came out here the other night and I did something like this. Oh yeah, I can pick up one end of it. So I think that's good. Now this whole boat is basically full of flotation foam. This is what they call a self-draining boat, which means if this sits out in the, say, on the side of the lake and it fills up with water, it'll still float. In fact, not only will it still float, but if you come back here and you take the drain plug out, there's a drain plug there and there's another one back here, then the water will run out of this because the boat floats in such a way that it don't sink down so low in the water that it'll stay filled with water, which basically means it's really the perfect boat for what I want to do. Because what I want to do is put it in the water and leave it and go down there and get on it when I want to go, and then leave it again when I want to leave it again. And with almost every boat I know of, if it fills up with water, you've either got to dip it out or pump it out or flip the boat over to get the water out of it before you can do anything with it. So my thinking is, for today, to keep it dry, and any water that comes into here, and this building does leak. This got a tin roof on it, but it leaks. In fact, I might see a little bit of a wet spot. That's probably from where the dew fell off it. But I know there's some holes because they had a pedestal seat bolted through the floor over there, and I want to stop up any holes where water would leak through. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to suck all this dirt out of here. I'm not going to run a water hose in here and fill it up, because if I did, water would run down through those holes. I'm going to suck all this dirt up. I'm going to use a vacuum cleaner and an air compressor to blow the dirt out and suck it into that. And then I'm going to wipe it down with some acetone. And then I'm going to find every little hole that I can find, and I'm going to close it, stop it up. And then I won't have to worry about water getting in it. And then I can do restoration work on it. See, there's a hole right there. And this here is going to need to be repaired. I'll do that because I got the skills. So that's the first thing I'm going to do today is that. And then as soon as I get that done to my liking, I think I'll start focusing on that. I thought I heard a vehicle. That should be Honey Babe just getting home. Oh, the joy. Distracted by this boat. This trolling motor came off of the Boston Whaler boat. Works good. It said it's 48 pound thrust. I don't know what them others are I got. That seems like a pretty good bit. That might be a better thing to have on this boat than that gas motor. This is on a board that's cracked. Well, I cracked it. But it's got screws sticking out up under it here from where someone bolted that into a piece of something on that boat. I'm thinking, well, I'll just take this piece of wood off here and just put this here, maybe put another board on top of that, and then bolt this into that and bolt these back here. And then I could eliminate the weight of that wood. I think I'd do that. And if I had my screwdriver gun handy by, and I think I might have one over in the banjo shop. I'll go take a look and see. I've got here something like an old mailbox post that I could use the pieces of to attach that thing down there to the seat. I love working with junk and scrap and stuff like that. Makes me pretty happy. I think I'm going to take my trailer off and let it sit here. That way I can take the golf cart up to the house and get some more screws and stuff. I got a lot heavier with that motor sitting back here, didn't it? Might be better. Yeah, that is better. Okay. I'll let that sit right there. And I can run up and get me some more screws. Hold the boy. I'm going to set all these out down here because I don't want them to wind up in my tires, my lawnmower tires somewhere. Alrighty, I've been messing around with my design a little bit. I think I'm going with this piece of wood with a piece of wood on top of it that fits about right there. It's easier to put it together than to explain it, so I'm going to put it together right quick. Let's take a look at it and see what we think. I'll start with these little screws here, going right down into the aluminum top on the seat. Pretty strong little piece of aluminum there. Mercy sakes. Big balls of fire. Man. That's a hard piece of aluminum right there. Mercy sakes. All the fire. Really had to put one hole in the boat. Now put this here, it's pretty sturdy. I think it'll hold that just fine. There's a screw here, and this piece here is actually cut so that it wedges down in here like this. So one screw there, a screw here, a screw here, and I made a hole in the boat and put one screw with a rubber washer here. And I guess for good measure I could put one more screw here. And then I should be able to set that up here, bolt it down, and have the trolling motor work off of that. I'm going to put one more screw in that, and then we'll see how that works. Alright, so I think that's mounted on there well enough. Now I did mount it a little over to the side because it has a little weight to it, but so do I. So if I mount it here and then I sit there, the boat will be pretty balanced. Now I'm not sure how fast this will move the boat, but I think it might be a more appropriate setup than before when I had the 6 horsepower on here, because it still felt like it was a little bit too much motor for this boat. So what I'll do is pretty soon, not today, but maybe tomorrow, I'll run this down to the water. We'll put it in and try it. Now, I'm not worried about anybody stealing any of this. That motor is, I feel like it's free because I bought another boat. I didn't really buy the boat for the motor. I bought the boat for the boat. That Whaler had that motor on it, so I kind of got it free. So yeah, if somebody really wanted to steal it enough to try to detach it from the boat or take the whole boat, it wouldn't be too much of a loss either way. So I'm pretty okay with that. I did drop a couple screws out here, so what I'm going to do is gently back the golf cart down here and hook this up and pull it away, and then come back later with a magnet rake and see if I can rake up those screws. But sun's getting down close to the edge, and I got a few online things I want to do today, so I might stop right about there. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me today. Yeah, okay. And we'll leave it at that for the moment. I might have something else to say, but we'll leave it at that for right now. Love y'all. I was about to pull that up the hill, but you know what? This is as good a place for it as any if I took it up the hill. I mean, I'm making it to be in the weather, so I'll just leave it right here. Tomorrow, I'll come down here and rake around to see if I can find the screws that flew away down here. And we'll hook this thing up, run down the water with it, and see how she goes. Ho, the joy.